News when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Nathan Hager.
And I'm Karen Moscow.
Let's begin now with the latest on the global trade war. President Trump is hinting that deals could come as soon as this week with some countries. The president spoke with reporters on Air Force One last night.
At some point in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I'm going to be setting the deal. I'm going to say that such and such a country has had a tremendous trade surplus their way with us. They've taken advantage of us in various ways.
President Trump also says his aides are having conversations with their counterparts in Beijing, though he has no current plans to speak with Chinese President Xi Jinping.
Nathan, the president says he does have plans for a new tariff on foreign-made films. In a Truth Social post, President Trump said he directed the Commerce Department to begin instituting a 100% duty on movies made overseas. He spoke about that on Air Force One last night as well.
Other nations have been stealing the movie-making capabilities from the United States. And I said to a couple of people, what do you think? I've done some very strong research over the last week, and we're making very few movies.
President Trump's comments come after a Mar-a-Lago meeting over the weekend with actor Jon Voight. Sources tell Bloomberg Voight and his manager Stephen Paul gave the president plans for more movie and TV tax incentives.
And all this, Karen, follows a wide-ranging interview with President Trump on NBC's Meet the Press, heard here on Bloomberg Radio. The president says he may lower tariffs on China at some point because the 145% duties are so high now. Both countries have essentially stopped doing business with each other.
China's getting killed right now. They're getting absolutely destroyed. Their factories are closing. Their unemployment is going through the roof. I'm not looking to do that to China.
President Trump also insisted he's not looking to fire Fed Chair Jay Powell, though he still thinks the central bank has waited too long to cut interest rates.
Well, he should lower them, and at some point he will. He'd rather not because he's not a fan of mine. He just doesn't like me because I think he's a total stiff.
Another major story we're following this morning, Nathan, the passing of the torch at Berkshire Hathaway. Warren Buffett picked the final minute of his 60th annual shareholder meeting to announce his retirement. Bloomberg's John Tucker joins us with more, and John Buffett also announcing his replacement.
Yeah, good morning, Karen. It was a shock to many, including his shareholders at this meeting. Only his two kids, board members at Berkshire, knew this was coming, blindsiding even his vice chairman, Greg Abel. Abel is the man that Buffett has picked to replace him. Todd Finkel, author of Warren Buffett, Investor and Entrepreneur, says the company will be in good hands.
I think he's going to do a great job. He's been mentored all these years. I haven't heard one negative thing about Greg Abel. Not one negative thing.
Buffett will hand the 62-year-old Abel the keys to a $1.2 trillion giant commanding a portfolio of stocks such as Apple and American Express, on top of a collection of insurance, energy, railroad, and consumer businesses that churn out $10 billion a quarter in operating profit. Abel will now have to decide what to do with Berkshire's almost $350 billion cash pile after Buffett largely sat out a volatile last few years in the market. At 94 years old, Buffett has served as CEO for 60 years. A pre-market Berkshire Class B shares, they're down 2%. In New York, I'm John Tucker, Bloomberg Radio.
John, thanks. Reaction is pouring in around the world to Warren Buffett's pending departure. Bloomberg's Gina Cervetti has that part of the story.
As Warren Buffett called an end to his historic run atop Berkshire Hathaway, luminaries from the technology and banking worlds rushed to praise the man whose lessons they partially credit for their success. Apple's Tim Cook called him inspiring. Bank of America's Brian Moynihan praised his lessons on life and business. And J.P. Morgan's Jamie Dimon said he's, quote, everything that is good about American capitalism.
All right, Gina, thank you. Turning to the markets, the S&P 500 coming off 9 straight days of gains. This week, investors have a Fed decision and a bevy of earnings to digest. That's news when you want it with Bloomberg News Now. I'm Karen Moscow.
I'm Nathan Hager, and this is Bloomberg.